So this is Anita Cimino, and she is here as part of the Swan Day Staten Island 2016 celebration at the Art Lab. I want to point out she has some of her artwork on display. You will see some images of that briefly. Very inspirational. It's watercolor. It's gorgeous. It's very inspiring. I would love to find out how you came across realizing you were an artist.
Oh, well, from a very young age, I loved to paint, and no one discouraged me, and my mother let me just express myself. And then I went in my teen years to a province town on Cape Cod, which is an art colony, and everyone there painted. It was the days of Andy Warhol and such. And there's a museum there, and so I actually started painting without studying. And then I learned how to do I learned other mediums. And I learned how to do woodcuts, linoleum cuts, and I painted originally in oil, and it was so smelly, and it took so long to dry. Now they have oil that doesn't smell as much, but way back in the
I
old
actually
days,
like that smell. I like walking through the art studio and you like have this.
well, okay, but it took very long to dry.
Right.
And then I started painting in acrylics and then watercolor. And so I'm actually a printmaker and a painter. And I also love doing monotypes.
Well, please explain what monotypes
Surely. Well, a monotype is when is very close to is the closest printmaking to actually painting, but it's a print.
Okay.
And you work on a sheet of acrylic, heavy plastic acrylic, and you paint on it. And when you get what you like, you can wash it off and you paint, and then you take a piece of paper, you soak it, and you kind of dry it a little bit, and since it's damp, and you take that paper and you put it on top of your painting, which is on plastic.
Right.
And monotype means it's one. It's not like a print, you can make a lot of different
You can't
prints of it.
do more than one.
Whatever, you cannot. You can sometimes get a shadow on a second one. So whatever was on that acrylic is now on the paper, okay? And then, well, it's not yet. Actually, you put it on the acrylic and then you run it through a press so that the press gets whatever was on the acrylic comes on the paper.
Okay.
And then you have a monotype.
Oh, fabulous.
All right? And now I do watercolors, and lately I've been printing in acrylics, hard line abstracts.
Ooh.
I think, Liz, you saw some.
Yes, I did.
Now, what made you? There's the one piece that's in front of the opening to the main room of the event today. What inspired you to paint that? I'm all looking at it and seeing all the different things that are brought up. Like, does it take place at twilight? Is it like, because it's almost like the moon and the sun are there?
You've got it. It's in the New York Minute.
Please, it's a fabulous piece.
Yeah, right. It's a couple that's been out all hours, having a grand old time. And that is the clock, actually. So it's in the New York Minute. It's what the title of the painting is. And it's in watercolor. With watercolor, I'm sure you know, you paint very quickly. And whatever is there, you don't want to be overworking. So you get a very light, airy feel. Now, when I work on canvas, that was on paper. The 300-pound heavy-duty Arches paper, and it holds up very well. But when you paint on canvas with acrylics, if you make a mistake, you go right over it. And you can't see. But with watercolor, really, you don't want to play with it too much.
Right.
So right now I'm doing I'm working in acrylic on canvas.
Okay.
And sometimes I go back to watercolor.
Do you have a website where we can see some of your artwork?
No, I don't, but I do have, I can send you some pictures. I don't have a website. I'm
So below, let's have-
technologically
She'll
challenged.
send me.
No worries. Below, please, just we'll have a link below that you can click on to view some of her artwork, where you can purchase some of it. I mean, New
Yes.
York Minute is fantastic. I could see it up in some beautiful
Thank you.
living room space. I could almost see it fitting in with most color schemes as well. Very, very nice. And she has many other beautiful pieces. So please check out the link below. Anita, it was great speaking with
Oh,
you.
it's
Is
my
there
pleasure.
any other message that you would like to give fellow women artists that
Well,
are out there?
Well, I'd like to say to anyone who teaches or anyone who works with children that you want to expose children to art. I was a teacher, and in my classroom, I feel that art should be woven within the curriculum, woven within the tapestry of teaching, is something every teacher should do. And I think that it provides nourishment for children to grow up with that feeling that they can. For example, when I taught and I did poetry, I let the children express themselves. They could make a lino cut that matched, or anything that matched, that would be another way of expressing the poetry that they wrote. Or if they wrote a story, they were encouraged
To express it.
to express
through
it.
art.
Yeah, well, writing is an art, of
Right,
course.
right,
yeah.
right, yes.
But every child had linoleum, and they did linoleum cutting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they were able to do that in class, and they were able to paint. I was very fortunate when I was teaching. It was called the open classroom before they had the Common Core, which.
Yeah.
Which does not
I hope
encourage.
things go back to where
Yeah.
they were, because art is so important. I'd like to coin the phrase Dana McBrumano came up with: edutainment.
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 Okay.
It's so important nowadays to incorporate art, because even, let's say, kids that are having problems in certain academic parts of schooling, you can stimulate those parts of the brain through art to make things easier for them.
I'm
And
so glad you said that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
no
interrupt you.
worries at all.
But I taught a very difficult sixth grade, and they would stay out. They would play hooky. I don't know if you still use that word.
We do.
But
we do.
I was told. But when I came into the classroom, that's how I started. And the principal told me, "Oh, we got rid of." I started as a substitute, and the kids say, "Oh, we got rid of every substitute that was here." I said, "Well, we'll see." Well, the way I encouraged them not to play hooky and to attend all classes is by having art for them, and they could also build. They also could do sculpture. So it really, the attendance went up.
See?
And I remember the principal came to me and said, "I can't believe it. They were all here." And he would come in every day because they were a difficult group. And
That was their release, their relaxation, their learning.
and also it was a way of getting them in. They wanted to paint. They wanted to really produce. Not only paintings, but they built for science. We had gerbils in the classroom, and I had them actually build a gerbil cage.
Wow.
And so that was the science. They watched how they fed them. They recorded everything. They painted pictures of the gerbils. So I think that art is important in every facet of life. And it takes thought, and it was a way, by the way, to get back to the children, was a way of encouraging them to come into school.
See?
So, So to
It
every-
helps. It helps make learning fun,
Yes, yes, it does.
and that's when you absorb most of what's being taught to you. If you're enjoying yourself and you're
Yep.
open.
Absolutely. Well, it was,
Thank you
you
for
are
being a part
delightful,
of it.
by the
Thank you.
way. You are a wonderful interviewer. I don't know how I did it as a subject, but you were terrific.
Thank you. You're great yourself. It's very fabulous.
So,
Again,
I hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
not at all. Not at all. Please introduce yourself again and
Oh,
give us.
it's Anita Cimino, Cimino. And by the way, I'm a member of the South Shore Artists Group, and they're integral with the Swan event.
So you could go to the link below and view them. They will also have some pictures of Anita's artwork up for you to view.
Right.
And you want to be on their mailing list. You want to know when these events are happening so you can support women and all people in your communities. So please, art is important and we need your support. We need your feedback so we know how to grow as well, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a very well put statement, really, and an excellent way to end this interview. Thank you so much. You're
Thank
delighted.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. You have to view her work. Again, links are below. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Isn't she awesome? I found her.